Alright, been a bit of a hiatus since I played Resident Evil Requiem. I wanted to do this a bit, I wanted to do, like, a little epilogue where I read through Grace's report, but, kept busyness kept getting in the way. Um, so, let's get to it. Unfortunately, it's just two, Fury 10th anyone here. Unfortunately, there's just two of us. Would be helpful to have Navy here since he's also a well-versed Resident Evil fan. Unfortunately, he is probably asleep or with his family or something. I don't know. No, we don't know where the heck he goes. Uh, okay. Grace's report. This is gonna be a long thing of me feckin' reading, so after this, I'm gonna try to start a classic mode playthrough. That's gonna be where you need ink ribbons to save. That's gonna be frustrating because I've only played a well, I never actually played one of the classic ones. I played it. No, technically no. Played a bit of Resident Evil 2, the original. Unfortunately, the disc I got, one of the discs I got for that was scratched, so I didn't realize it at the time. Not even scratched. It was chipped. Like fucking hell. I should have inspected that crap before I bought it at a fucking flea market. Um, I was young and I didn't know better. So oh well. Um. But the closest I've gotten to actually properly playing through one of the classic games was playing the Resident Evil 1 remake, and I sucked at it. I couldn't remember where shit was. I didn't. I was bad at resource management. I was low on ammo. I was low on ink ribbons. It was a rough time for me because I just not good. And honestly, I feel like so many of the people bitching about like I don't want to play the classic ones. They suck. The chain controls are too clunky. It's so bad. They didn't know how to make good games back then. That's why it has tank controls. Like no, I feel like a lot of people just suck at that sort of gameplay and they don't want to admit it, so they want to blame the game for being quote unquote bad. I'm just gonna say I'm not I don't think I'm very good at the classic playthrough, or at least I wasn't when I played it back in when I was younger. So who knows? I would like to go back to it and try it out. I probably would still suck at it, and it would be very hard, and I would be screaming because I'd be scared because I'm like I can't do things, and I'm low on items. Um, but yeah, get good. Grace's report: The truth behind Raccoon City. Introduction. Let's see how professional Grace is at her reporting skills. In 1998, Raccoon City was devastated by a massive outbreak caused by a viral leak from the pharmaceutical giant Umbrella. The United States government responded by launching a missile strike to wipe out the infected and erected a blockade to seal off the city. In 2004, following a court trial, the Umbrella Corporation declared bankruptcy. A complete account of the events was never released. Okay, yeah, give a yeah. Good, Grace. Starting off strong, giving a very concise summary of events before you go into detail. Very good. However, in October 2026, it was discovered that the city had been used as a hub for the production of trafficking of bioweapons. Oh, good, nice way to put it, Grace. I think the more detailed version would have been, however, in October 2026. Ah! Ah! Because Grace was terrified out of her mind during that whole thing. This report reveals that the established narrative of the Raccoon City incident was falsified and elucidates newly discovered truths surrounding the incident. I feel like there's some dissociation going on. No, like there has to have been some fucking dissociation going on when Grace wrote this report. Like she like floated out of her body and just wrote it as if she was a detached account rather than somebody who was being traumatized throughout all of this whole thing. 1968. To properly understand the truth, we must first go back to the beginning of it all. In 1968, Oswald E. Spencer, James Marcus, and Edward Ashford founded the Umbrella Corporation. Having witnessed the horrors of the Second World War and the dread of the Cold War, Spencer felt a sense of despair at watching the world repeat the same mistakes. He felt it was his duty to bring about a change to humanity. He met some lady in Romania that taught him about mold. As stated in court records following the Raccoon City, is there a way I can like look at the? Oh, nope, nope, nope. Is there a way I can look at these pictures? I don't think there is. Okay. As stated in court records following the Raccoon City incident, his ultimate goal was to bring about the viral evolution of the human race. Thus, he relentlessly pursued virus research through illegal and inhumane means. This fact remains unchanged. I didn't skip a thing, did I? No. 1970s. From the very beginning of Umbrella, the company faced rapid change and intense internal strife, most notably the sharp ideological divide between Spencer and Marcus. According to the court records, this conflict was cited as the primary factor leading to the unusual developments which followed. In 1978, James Marcus developed the T virus, which would go on to become the cause of the subsequent outbreak. 1980s. This is a crucial period for understanding the basis of what caused the incident and the truth behind the entire case. Spencer's influence in Ark's establishment. Spencer used internal politics to have Marcus demoted, absorbing T-virus research into a facility under his own control. From then on, Umbrella began to actively research and develop bioweapons under Spencer's leadership. The underground facility, known as Ark, which was discovered during recent events, originally served as the administrative center of Umbrella's research. Yeah, sure. Okay. Several documents outlining Spencer's plan for Ark have also been discovered. Excerpts from confiscated records, long-term strategic review, 1980, on April 22nd. Arc-centric integrated research roadmap. Step 1, concentrated investment into the Wesker project and the T-virus. Step 2, establishment of Arc as a central command center. Step 3, development of Elpis. Step 4, memory transfer and forced evolution. Okay, something that, like, okay, I'm sure maybe this report will explain it, but like, how the hell was Spencer working on Elpis all the way back at the beginning? Like, the way the game presented it is like after all the shit went down in Raccoon City, he started to feel remorse, about the
Elpis
chaos.
is just the cure for the T virus, right?
Elpis, I believe, is a cure for all progenitor virus based viruses, and the progenitor virus is the one that started it all.
Here's the thing. You'd have to be a bit of a friggin' moron to build a bioweapon and not have a cure for it in case something goes wrong and you get it.
I don't know. Like, yeah, nothing before. Well, I mean, I guess like Resident Evil 3 had like the vaccine. Same for the G vaccine in 2. But I don't know. Like, Elpis also seems just like completely different, separate from like the T virus vaccine that was made in Resident Evil 3. So I don't know what's up with that. Like, they were already working on a vaccine, so why work on like a separate cure? Oh well. But like, but the way the game framed it is that Spencer only made it as out of like remorse for what he had unleashed into the world. Like, he wanted to evolve humanity, and instead, when he ended up bringing into the world was bioterrorism. And so the game was framing him creating Elpis as his atonement, and yet everything else is saying like, oh, it was already under everything. All of this was already underway in the like before Raccoon City fell. So that doesn't make sense unless I missed something, and it's maybe it's like, oh, maybe early on in Elpis's development it was about memory transfer and stuff, and maybe even the controlling mind control stuff. I don't know about if that was ever actually true. Um, but after Raccoon City, Spencer decided to reform what Elpis was doing into a general cure for all progenitor virus stuff. Anyway, this is the first recorded instance of a significant keyword, Elpis. Yep. The connections involvement. Ah, yes, the connections. The people that were named only in, I think, was it Resident Evil? Shoot. Okay, I haven't played 6. So maybe they were named in 5 or 6. I haven't played 5 or 6, so maybe they were named there. Resident Evil 7 is the earliest I knew about their involvement. Or 7. Did I say 6? I meant to say 7. Um, but yeah, no, this is a document I heard reveals that they've been involved since the very beginning, even though they were only introduced later on. Although technically, Wesker did have, employers that he was working for, which I thought was supposed to be Tricell, but I don't know much about Tricell myself because I didn't actually play the games that involved them. Um, but maybe he was also working with the connections. And then there's also Nicholai, who had an unknown boss that he was reporting to that he wasn't actually working for Umbrella. Or like he was secretly working for some other boss while pretending to work for Umbrella. Um, so maybe he was working with the connections. Maybe he'll show up again. The following documents regarding Marcus's involvement were also discovered. Excerpt from confiscated records. Received donation 1986 January 38. Okay, okay. Those aren't. I guess those that underscore is not a day. um, I don't think January has 38 days. Recipient.
You're not sure?
I was joking.
Okay.
Recipient James Marcus. Sender F Foundation. Amount $30 million. This document shows a suspicious flow of funds being channeled to. I'm sorry. I crazy thing for me to be knowing. I mean, it's not crazy. Plenty of people know bits and bobs about movies and games they've never actually played that they just absorb the pop culture osmosis. But reading the $30 million just reminded me of the frigging Austin Powers gag where Doctor Evil and the other bad guys, I guess, are like discussing plans to use some ludicrous invention of Doctor Evil's uh, to ransom the world for like millions of dollars. And Scott Evil, I think, Doctor Evil's son, is like, why don't you just patent this? You could make billions. Because like the device they have is like some technological marvel that were it patented and sold, it would actually make billions. And Doctor Evil is like, why make billions when we could make millions? So much more focused on just doing the evil stuff rather than actually making money. It also reminds me of Senor Senior Senior from Kim Possible. How he was just evil as a hobby and strictly stuck to the traditions of evil, even if they were disadvantageous. Uh, This document shows a suspicious flow of funds being channeled to Marcus. Past FBI investigations revealed that the source of the funds, the F Foundation, was just one of the puppet organizations of the Connections. The F Foundation no longer exists. Hmm. Okay. That's look. That's Mia. That's Mia right there. That's freaking. That's Miranda. That's Miranda. And this guy's face is messed up. Poor guy. He got in the fold. The Connections is a criminal organization. Oh yeah, also there's Evelyn. Hi. Uh, the Connections is a criminal organization that various government agencies have been sounding the alarm against for years. This illicit group is at the heart of all this, of course. Yep, since the very beginning, just like 17 and 18 were the androids from the very beginning. The evidence suggests that the Connections sought involvement with Umbrella's central operations. Additional documents belonging to the protege of Marcus, Brandon Bailey, have been uncovered. Who's Brandon Bailey? I don't know him. Maybe he's from another game. Excerpt of confiscated records. Telegraph log 1988, September 96. Sender Brandon Bailey. Recipient F Foundation. Preparations are complete. I think it's time they made contact with me directly, don't you? I await a response. Brandon Bailey. Okay. This this was sent by telegraph. Did he dot this? Because that's kind of ridiculous. Maybe it's not actually telegraph. I don't know. This indicates that Bailey took over correspondence with the Connections, succeeding Marcus. Bailey was rumored to be the founder of the Connections, but he may have only been a small cog in the larger machine. We now believe the Connections has had deep roots in the criminal underworld since before the 1980s. Much about the Connections remains unknown. Spencer's Purge. In order for Spencer to obtain complete control over Umbrella, he used force to deal with any internal opposition and influential adversaries. A list of these individuals, seemingly prepared by an associate of Spencer's, was recently discovered. Okay. Excerpt from confiscated records, reevaluation list. Following the CEO's reevaluation protocol, measures will be taken against these individuals: Cheryl Moore, Michael Kramer, James Marcus. I I know Michael Kramer's name. Where do I know? I
Are you thinking of the actor? Because that's.
I don't think so.
Uh,
Like I
uh,
I'm sure like I have watched like this what Resident Evil timeline video before, so I'm sure maybe the name's from there. I just don't remember. Like I regret not playing all the games. I'm gonna fix that over time. I did buy a bunch of the games on Steam um when it when they were on sale. They might still be on sale, but like yeah, I'll play them eventually. Cheryl Moore. During this period, Umbrella continued to grow and expand through ties with the government. With the government, the organization became so large that Spencer could no longer fully control it. Numerous accidents plagued Umbrella's facilities around the world as a result of poor management. Furthermore, information was being leaked to rival organizations and the connections due to moles who had infiltrated the company. Yet, despite the circumstances, Spencer was able to thoroughly protect and complete his research at Ark. The research, Elpis. While most records regarding Elpis were lost with the destruction of Ark, a precious few remain. Excerpts from confiscated records. Spencer's message, 1990 data missing. Tricell, HCF, the family, and Umbrella. Elpis shall bring it all to an end. Data corrupted. The only information leaked about Elpis was that it had the potential to upset the military balance of the entire world. However, a strictly managed password known only to Spencer was needed to access it. What is Elpis? Elpis is a powerful antiviral drug. However, this was unknown to those who sought it. The Connections and other black market groups mistakenly thought it to be a powerful bioweapon with the potential to control human minds. This confusion likely stemmed from the fierce competition surrounding bioweapon development. It was common knowledge that Spencer, and the developer of Elpis, aimed for the evolution and control of humanity through viral technology. Completion of Elpis. Based on data taken from the confiscated records and changes in Spencer's behavior, we believe Elpis was completed around the mid 1990s. After this period, the records show a marked Elpis was completed since the 90s. Man, like they had a cure to all of this shit the entire time, and it was just hidden away for for nearly 30 years. Actually, about 30 years. That's man, you'd think like there's so many people kicking themselves, like Chris and Claire, Jill, Leon. They've got to be pissed that this shit was there for 30 years and Spencer didn't say shit before he died. Well, I mean, he said that stuff to Alyssa, but Alyssa didn't really. Well, he didn't say everything to Alyssa. Yeah. Spencer kept all of the exact secrets and details to himself until he friggin' died, and like that's insane. They could have solved so much shit and prevented so much death for so many years, and no. After this period, the records show a marked decrease in the number of public statements from Spencer. A similar decrease in activity was also observed. How is that guy not in jail, by the way? Like in Resident Evil 5, he's like I think he's in his castle when Wesker kills him. Why was he not in jail? A similar decrease in activity was also observed at the Raccoon City orphanage. Yep, that's the 90s actually. Uh, Disturbingly, it is suspected that the children at the orphanage had long been used for umbrella experimentation. Suspected? This is a known fact. There's detail, there's records, there's files. While Spencer frequently visited the orphanage, records indicate he stopped in the 1990s. Furthermore, the orphanage was under the research jurisdiction of William Birkin in the late 90s. Birkin turned against Spencer, ultimately leading to the leak of the T-virus. 1998, the Raccoon City incident. The T-virus leaked from the Umbrella research facility in Raccoon City, causing an unprecedented outbreak. In response, the government decided to launch a missile strike on the city, under the pretense of containing the spread. However, this is where we have been misled. The missile strike was not launched to prevent the spread of infection. A plan was formed to disrupt the relationship between the government and Umbrella, and shift the blame for all illegal activities onto Spencer. Found records indicate that the connections lobbied for the missile strike. Excerpts from confiscated records, access log, first assembly minutes. Or minutes. I don't know.
So minutes, it would be minutes if it's like the records from a meeting.
Oh, okay. I thought like it's minute as in like the minutia or something. Minutia. I have also been assuming that that minutia could be said in also like used in the reference in like the form of like the same spelling as minutes. Minute. Oh no, yeah, minute is the word. It's where's adjective? There you are. Minute. It's adjective. So of course it's an adjective. What am I thinking? Of course it wouldn't have a plural. First assembly minutes. The fact, but reading it as minutes confused, like not confused. It just rings wrong in my head because I'm just like I keep thinking of time. Um, Ark has been secured. Commence the missile strike. The blame will fall solely on Spencer. With this, Umbrella will be dismantled and will seize their assets. This is the connections. Ark has been secured. Their goal was the acquisition of Umbrella assets, particularly the thing they believed would disrupt the world's military balance, Elpis. Due to Bailey's involvement, the connections were unaware of or were aware of Umbrella's inner workings prior to the Raccoon City incident. This set them up to swiftly secure Ark before instructing the government to carry out the missile strike. After the Raccoon City incident, the Umbrella trials. As is well known, trials were held after the events of the Raccoon City incident. Testimony from Raccoon City survivors, along with evidence submitted by the Global Pharmaceutical Consortium, demonstrated the scope of Umbrella's nefarious activities. Evidence against Spencer was presented at the trials by his subordinate, Albert Wesker. It is now evident that Wesker was linked to Tricell, which in turn had strong ties to the connections. Therefore, it is highly likely there was pressure from the government and the connections during the trials. In 2004, following the outcome of the trials, Umbrella was forced into bankruptcy. Just as the connections and the government intended, also E. Spencer was held accountable as CEO and he disappeared from the public eye. Why wasn't he arrested? Acquisition of Ark. The connect. Yeah, that's true. The connections and the government seized Ark during the Raccoon City incident. Thereafter, Ark served as the base for the research, development, and distribution of bioweapons. Documents believed to be transaction lists have also been seized. These list Umbrella's competitors, along with organizations that were previously found guilty of illegal activity. Unfortunately, most evidence was lost with the collapse of Ark. Recovery efforts continue, but success is unlikely. Honestly, very surprising, like that people that the connections and the government were using Ark, and yet aside from Zeno and Gideon, nobody was there. I mean, they had the soldiers in there, but like nobody else was there. Like no scientists working on shit. Like they were just it was just abandoned. I guess I don't know. Maybe Zeno and Gideon were uh, oh hey BT Dubs, we're gonna go unlock Elpis. We found the person who can do it, and probably there's a DSO guy coming. Probably want to clear out. He'll probably kill you. Documents believed to be transaction lists have also been seized. These lists Umbrella's competitors, along with organizations that were previously found to be guilty of illegal activity. Unfortunately, most evidence was lost with the collapse of ARC. Recovery efforts continue, but success is unlikely. Oh yeah, I already read that. Proliferation of bioterrorism. Following the Raccoon City incident, weaponized viruses developed by Umbrella were leaked. Subsequently, instances of bioterrorism utilizing this technology spread around the globe. In 2013, President Adam Benford, that's not Ashley's father, Ashley, what's her last name actually? Ashley Graham? Yeah. Was assassinated. Yeah, that's right. This is yeah, not her father. This guy was killed in one of the Resident Evil games, I think. Was assassinated in a bioterrorist attack. Intelligence agencies report that the president wished to reveal the full truth of the Raccoon City incident. It is possible that President Benford was privy to the facts revealed in this report. Spencer's final years. Remaining records about Spencer after the dissolution of Umbrella are scarce, but a new source of information has recently come to light, an interview conducted by Alyssa Ashcroft. The rest of this report is unreadable because there are several teardrops staining the ink. Uh, despite being responsible for countless atrocities, Spencer showed some signs of remorse in this interview. Having lost everything, he sought atonement. While Elpis is a powerful instrument that can render viral weapons inert, it also has potential as a panacea to be used for good. It's possible that Spencer's true motivations behind Elpis were peace and redemption. While he remained obsessed with the evolution of humanity throughout his later years, most testimonies describe him as nothing but a senile old man. Okay, so there's their explanation for why I guess Spencer still seemed evil in Resident Evil 5 right before he died or was murdered. Um, is that he's senile by the time we see him and before he dies, and he's kind of like looping back to his megalomaniacal days, and that's why he seems unrepentant when he dies. It's because he's kind of forgetting that he was repentant. Spencer died in 2006 at his secluded estate. A funny way of nice way of putting that. Wesker put his arm through him. His true intentions behind developing Elpis will forever remain unknown. Conclusion. As we can see from the records, the Umbrella Corporation's liquidation was intentionally orchestrated by the Connections and the US government. Furthermore, they were involved in the illegal development and trafficking of bioweapons in Raccoon City. The extent to which past and present governments were involved requires further investigation. Much about the Connections remains shrouded in mystery, and most records of their involvement were destroyed alongside ARC. Countless lives have been lost. As government officials, we have a duty to pursue the truth. If anything, finding it will finally offer some closure to everyone who fell victim to these heinous actions. FBI intelligence analyst Grace Ashcroft. Okay, I don't feel like that explained or connected everything that I thought it would. I mean, it just the most of this is just saying, "Oh, by the way, the Connections were kind of involved in a lot of this." It doesn't really explain very much. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Okay, well, that was an okay read. I kind of should explain more. I kind of wish Grace had done super research and gotten into contact with like Chris and Claire, Jill, Leon, and like learned all of the documentation that they had collected in their games and connected all the dots. Like, I mean, like we see a picture of Miranda and Evelyn, but nothing is mentioned about them. And there's Mia. Oh well. Who's that, by the way? This guy wearing black. Wonder who he. Oh wait. Oh, he might be since he and Mia and Evelyn are standing out here. This guy might be oh, what was his name? Was it Adam? No. He was the guy who was working alongside Mia to escort Evelyn and pretend to be her father um, before he screwed up and she got free. Okay. I was hoping for to have more potential for discussion, but no. I mean, Brandon Bailey. I've not been familiar with this name, so maybe he's going to be a new character going forward. This isn't as useful for fully understanding the timeline as I thought it was going to be. Oh well. Well, that's going to be it for this epilogue, I suppose. I hope you enjoyed this little reading. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and start prepping for doing my classic mode playthrough. Um, gonna try to solve that final puzzle thing. Like I know there's like a final puzzle that's gonna be that you have to that's kind of strewn throughout the whole game. Um, Probably gonna be a bit of a bitch to do that with the classic mode, because that one's restricted saving by the ink ribbons. Um, but oh well. I will, just have to be careful. I have not looked up anything about it. I just know that it's throughout the entire game, so I'm going to try to genuinely solve it. Um, oh well. But that's it for this, and hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.